Hi, everybody. Today I have a very important topic to talk to you about. It's not a major topic, but it will put everything else into perspective and you will understand things a lot more clearly for understanding this one concept, which is the concept of the earth lease. Now, in Luke chapter 20, we're going to read, but this same parable is also in Mark chapter 12, and it's also in Matthew chapter 21. So it's written 3 times in the Bible. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every fact is established. So Jesus is speaking here in Luke 22, the Pharisees and the scribes. And he says, a certain man planted a vineyard, leased it to vine dressers, and went into a far country for a long time. Now, the certain man planted a vineyard. The earth is often referred to as a vineyard, but he says he leased it to vine dressers. We're supposed to be people who dress the vine. We take care of the planet that we've been given. If the earth is, the people on the earth, we're supposed to be dressing their grapes so they bear more fruit. So he says, a certain man planted a vineyard, leased it to the vine dressers, and went into a far country for a long time. Now at vintage time, he sent a servant to the vine dressers that they might give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the vine dressers beat him and sent him away empty-handed. Skipping down. But then the owner of the vineyard said, what shall I do? I will send my beloved son. Probably they will respect him when they see him. The beloved son is Jesus. So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, what will the owner of the vineyard do to them when he comes? He will come and destroy those vine dressers and give the vineyard to others. So the earth is seen as a vineyard, and it's been given to people for a time. See, leases are for a time. Leases are not permanent. God owns the earth, but he leased it to humans. And where did he lease it? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I will show you in Genesis chapter 1, that's where he leased it to man. He said in verse 26, then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So he's saying they have dominion over all the earth. So if I have a condo and I lease it to some tenants, and they start to do things that I don't like. For example, let's say they cook foods that I don't like them cooking. Things that smell bad and taste bad. I have no right to stop them. They can do anything they want inside that apartment, and even though I own the condo, I cannot stop them from doing things that I think are bad or things I don't approve of. Suppose they support a political party that is opposite my political party. I can't stop them because I have leased it. I have to wait until the lease is over, and I could renew it or I could not renew it. Now, this is important because people say, well, if God is all powerful, how come he lets this happen on earth? How come he lets children starve? How come no, God is on the outside. He leased the apartment to us, and he can't come in legally until the lease is over. There will be a time when the lease is over, and then Jesus will come back with all his angels and judge the world, and it will be a whole new millennium. But right now, the lease is in effect, and God cannot just do anything he wants within this, because he gave us the authority over the earth. Now, I want to read to you a passage that I stumbled upon, and this is from John chapter 5, and Jesus is talking to, who's he talking to? He's talking to his disciples, but he's also talking to the Pharisees, because he says, but if you do not believe my writings, he says that I have come, you search the scriptures and you think that you're going to find life in them. You search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and these are they that testify of me, but you are not willing to come to me that you may have life. So he's talking to the people who don't believe, the Pharisees and scribes. And in verse 26 and 27, he makes this statement: for as the Father has life in himself, so he has granted the Son to have life in himself. Okay, so far so good. Jesus has life in himself that comes from the Father, who has life in himself, and has given him, Jesus, authority to execute judgment also. So Jesus could walk around on the earth making judgment, because he, Jesus, is the Son of Man. So in verse 25, he says, they will hear the voice of the Son of God, and those who hear will live. And then in verse 27, he says, I have authority because I am the Son of Man. See, Jesus is both the Son of God and the Son of Man. Why that's important is because he came from heaven, so he belongs to the family of the landowner. But because he was born into the earth, now he is of the family of the tenants, farmers. So he can do things, he has the right to do things in the condo because he's born into the family of the condo tenants. So if you understand that, you can see why Jesus could do miracles and things, because he was a human and he was born as a human. Hope this helps.